Hi, my name is Olivia Cross. I am 16 years old and I am a junior in high school. As stressful as art can be, there is no better feeling than completing a piece you've been working tirelessly on. There is nothing better than using brushstrokes to get your feelings out instead of words, and that is why I love visual art. This is called the Blue Piece, painted with acrylic in 2016 on a 20 by 16 stretched canvas. It's called the Blue Piece due to the abundance of blues, and also because whenever I discussed the painting with friends, teachers, or family, that is how I referred to it. I couldn't think of a better name, and the Blue Piece kind of just stuck. The Blue Piece was a long time coming. I had started with a small watercolor doodle in my sketchbook my sophomore year. I was inspired by some music video where it was raining inside of a house. I absolutely loved the concept. When I started thinking about my GHP portfolio, I came across the piece and was inspired all over again. I wanted to take the doodle to the next level, but that meant trying to paint a surreal person with tiny details. I've always been confused by how realistic some artists could make their paintings. That was until I talked to my art teacher and he told me about this thing called patience. I was not really familiar with patience before this painting. Eventually, I figured out what it meant, and learned I am not a very patient person, but I stuck it out and I couldn't be prouder of how this piece turned out. Once I finished the girl, I filled out the rest of the background, then focused on the umbrella. I knew I wanted it to be a focal point of the painting, so using my knowledge of color theory, I picked yellow, a happy color amongst the sad, dreary hues of blue. This portrait is called Peach, painted with acrylic in 2016, and it is one of many commissions I have done in this style on a 12 by 12 birchwood cradled canvas. These portraits started with a small collage project I did my sophomore year. Again, like the Blue Piece, I was inspired to take my small projects to the next level. I am constantly inspired by my old work and use it to evolve my art. I love doing these portraits because I use my favorite aspect of painting, which is color theory. I rely heavily on color theory for most of my work, but these portraits use it the most. I like to choose colors that reflect the person I'm painting's personality or their aesthetic. I usually start by drawing out the portrait, then I paint in the background. This is how I pick the rest of the color palette. I used a pink background for this one, so I wanted to stick with that without using the same shades. I mixed peachy rose shades for the face. Where I choose to put certain colors is based off of the lighting in the original photo. Finally, I like to have a contrasting color that pops out. Again, using my knowledge of color theory, greens are the opposites of red. So I use an olive green to make the eyes and lips pop. I really enjoy doing portraits in an unconventional way. People seem to really like them, and I'm extremely glad they do because I love painting them. This photograph is called Pavant, taken and edited in early 2016 and is 17 by 12. For this piece, I did a short shoot with one of my friends. I was really inspired by the photo bumpers used in Saturday Night Live, so I took the photos from our shoot and photoshopped them in that style. I first cut the bodies out of the original background and placed them on a solid background. When I originally took the photos, they were under white lighting, and that looked really strange against the purple and blue solid background. In order to make my model look as if she belonged with the background, I had to edit the lighting to seem more purple or blue. I think I spent about an hour staring at both of these, making little changes so they'd fit perfectly. Once that was done, I had to figure out where to place the bodies. I think the rule of thirds makes for a very interesting photo, so I used that to decide their placing. Lastly, I added a drop shadow to add dimension to the photos. Originally, the two final edited pieces were separate. After looking at them separately for a while, I eventually came to the conclusion that the blue and purple looked nice together, so I put them together. This piece inspired my AP Art concentration. The final piece reminded me of a magazine spread, so I intend on using it and creating more pieces to make a mini magazine that relies heavily on color and the principles of design. I'm really excited to see where this idea will take me. I'd like to end this video by saying thank you very much for your time and for this opportunity to participate in this program.